Hi everyone, welcome back to Cheddar, brought to you by HP. Joining us now is Isaac Dietrich, CEO of Massroots, an app trying to build an online community for cannabis users. How is it going?
Going well. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Isaac. Okay, you recently announced reaching 1 million registered users. Why does your content appeal to so many people, and how do you plan to monetize them?
Well, Massroots is aimed at connecting consumers with the newest and best products in their local area. So we enable our user base to review products based on how they'll make people feel. This product works good for headaches. This particular cream works good for back pain. And then we're really focused on presenting the information in easy-to-use, actionable formats that everyday Americans can make their purchasing decisions. And in terms of monetization, we charge dispensaries a monthly listing fee to have exposure to our community. And then we have impression advertising as well, standard digital advertising. But we'll be rolling out a new website this weekend. So we very much look forward to your user base checking it out. We really think it's going to help bring the industry to the next level.
All right, and we have the app here on set, so we're going to go through it. And if you don't mind just showing us some of the cool features as we show it up here on the screen as well.
Sure.
Yeah, of course, we're gonna work to pull this up here. But while we do that, Isaac, talk to us a little bit. I think it's about, you had said, okay, so there we go. Okay, yeah, forget that, my question. Let's go right into it. Okay, so this is essentially, a lot of people may look at this, Isaac, who are unfamiliar, and they say it looks very similar to Instagram. You've got these big, kind of square-ish photos that take up a lot of real estate. Sativas, indicas, hybrids, you're showing different buds, you're showing dispensary offerings. Talk to me a bit about the design element that goes into the app and what can users who download Massroots for the first time expect to find?
Yeah, we use an Instagram-like model as a good basis point, just because users are very familiar with it. But as you start to add more people and really start to become part of the community, you can also see articles shared from our blog, as well as strain reviews on various products and strains. If you go to the local feed and local markets, you can see posts from people near you. And then on the Discover page, search for strains and products in your local area. If you click on the pot leaf in the upper right-hand corner, that will take you to the dispensary map at any point in time. And if you were in an area with a dispensary near you, then those would be displayed. I think even though medical cannabis is legal in New York, there's not that many dispensaries just because they haven't fully worked out the regulations yet, and it's still a very small and strict condition set.
Right.
So as dispensaries start to open up in your area, you'll be able to view them, see what products they have in stock, how much they cost. It's really meant for legal, mature markets and where we think the market is heading.
Right, like the one we're looking at now, the map just, even though we are in the financial district of Manhattan, it just brought me to Denver to show me, look at this impressive listing of dispensaries. These are all dispensaries. I haven't been to Colorado since it was legalized. This is the number of dispensaries per like square mile?
There are more dispensaries in Denver than Starbucks and McDonald's combined. They're literally popping up all over the place. I think there's more than 1,000 license holders in the state of Colorado. Granted, some of them have a medical and a recreational license. So the total number of dispensaries is in the hundreds. The total industry this year will do north of $1 billion in sales. And then tax revenue is north of $100 million. Primarily goes to the schools. So it has tremendous benefits across the entire economy of the states that legalize it. And there's now 28 states with some form of medical cannabis laws, 8 with some form of recreational cannabis laws, growing tremendously fast. So we'll see another of our markets coming online this year, including Florida, California, Massachusetts, all of which will be significant markets.
Isaac, you summed up the context of my next question, which is to take a look at your financials. The stock price down today more than 1.6%. Given that the expansion of the legal status of cannabis is spreading, what's happening with your company specifically and investors' sentiment about it?
So we've now raised north of $15 million, over $7 million of which has come in over the past 6 months. We're aggressively growing our market share of cannabis consumers, of businesses using our platform, and we're viewing this as just the beginning of a great industry. So, most of our revenue right now is coming from just 3 states, Colorado, California, Arizona. As these additional markets come online, that can really expand our revenue opportunities and the number of users who can join our platform. So we're firing on all cylinders right now. So we're very excited.
Isaac,
Okay.
let me ask you this, and I like to ask this question of what I call ganjapreneurs. I'm sure that's a phrase that you're somewhat familiar with. How necessary is a federal government rescheduling of marijuana? We know it's a Schedule 1 drug. It's up there with like heroin and LSD and some stuff that a lot of people say isn't even comparable to basic marijuana. How important is it for the federal government to reschedule it in order for this industry to really take off in the capacity that we've seen in just tiny increments so far?
We don't want the federal government to reschedule marijuana because then a tremendous amount of capital and very talented people would enter the space because the risk would be almost gone. Right now, because there's such high perceived risk, it's keeping the vast majority of institutional capital and talent out of the space, which allows us to succeed in ways that would be much more difficult if rescheduling occurs. That being said, we're under the opinion that 5-6 years from now, it probably will be rescheduled. But by that time, we want to have such a large user base, such effective monetization channels that we'll be able to hopefully be one of the companies that survives and really builds a national brand that can make money off the industry in every state that passes a medical or recreational cannabis law.
All right, Isaac Dietrich, CEO of Massroots. Thanks so much for joining us. You're quite young still, so I think you have a long, successful business ahead of you.
Look forward to keeping in touch.